Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Wager Detective here. We're going to get into this cap between the Montreal Canadiens versus the Buffalo Sabres. Game 7, NHL. You're with Wager Detective. Follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And more than anything else, know that Wager Detective loves all his fans. When you follow me on Twitter, set alerts. You never know when Wager Detective is going to drop a betting strategy, content, or a play that he likes. Also on YouTube, please subscribe. I appreciate all my support out there. And again, like I said, more than anything else, I love all my fans. All right, let's get into this game here. The Canadiens, let's start it off like this. They're 16-9 all-time in Game 7s. 8-3 are the Canadiens in road Game 7s. They're 7-1 in their last Game 7 since 2004. You know where Wager Detective is probably leaning, but let's get into the rest of the cap. The Canadiens are 48-24 on the year, coached by Martin St. Louis, who is 8-10 in the playoffs as a coach. And the Canadiens, this is where the cap gets interesting. This is going to be a short cap. You know, it's not going to be long-winded. It's pretty direct and to the point. I found what I was looking for, and I found it. So again, Canadiens, 16-9 all-time in Game 7s. They're 7-1 in their last 8 Game 7s since 2004, and they're 8-3 road Game 7s. Okay, on the playoffs this year, they're scoring 4 goals a game to 3.5 for the Sabres. Okay, in those 6 games this year that they've played, the Canadiens have scored 5+ 3 times. The Sabres have scored 3 or less 4 times. Something to keep in mind there. They just got clobbered. The Canadiens just got clobbered. That's what most bettors are going to see. Team just got beat at home, got on the road. Canadiens got beat at home. Now they're going to go on the road. They just got beat 8-3. They look fantastic. We've seen that with the Cleveland Cavaliers series when they lost at home and then went on the road to play Detroit, and they looked a lot better. So if we look at this part of the cap really sold it for me. I'm gonna spill the beans now. Wager Detective is definitely going with the Canadiens, but the Canadiens are 13-7 their last 20 versus the Sabres. They're scoring 3.6 goals per game to 3.2. The Canadiens have scored 4+ goals 7 times in those last 20 meetings. Now, the Sabres have been held to 2 goals or less 7 times in their last 20 meetings with the Canadiens. The Canadiens are 10-5. Canadiens are 10-5 in their last 15 versus the Sabres. Okay, 3.6 goals a game to 3.2. Okay, in those 15 games, the Canadiens have scored 4+ goals 7 times, and the Sabres have been held to 2 or less 7 times. So right there's a disparity. You see it right there. Their last 15 overall, the Canadiens are beating them. Now, the Canadiens are 9-2 in their last 11 at the Sabres, including the playoffs, scoring 4 goals a game to 2.72, a goal differential of 44-30, respectively. So right there, guys, all in a nutshell on the cap right there. Like we said, 7-1 in Game 7s. They're 8-3 in road Game 7s, and they're 16-9 all-time in Game 7s, which leads to the Canadiens being, to me, a play, even though they just got clobbered by the Sabres in Montreal. Got beat 8-3. So it's something to think about, something to keep an eye on, a mind on when you look at that. But also, the Canadiens, 10-5 the last 15 versus the Sabres. Okay, they've scored 4+ goals 7 times. And the Canadiens are 9-2 in the last 11 at the Sabres, and that's including the playoffs, scoring an average of 4 goals a game to 2.72 for the Sabres. Now, if we get into the Sabres part of the cap, another reason why I like this, it goes back to my basketball memory of like teams that win their win their conference, and how do they, they win their conference title in college basketball. What do they do once it gets to March Madness? They fade even if they start off early. The Atlantic Division champions, Buffalo Sabres. Okay, that plays a big part in why I like the Canadiens here. The Sabres are 1-6 all time in Game 7s. So something else to keep in mind. They are 50-23 on the year, and they're 5th in goals for and 10th in goals against, and they have the 5th best SRS in hockey, but the 13th SOS. If you look at the Canadiens, they got the 7th best SRS in hockey, and they got the ninth toughest SOS. So 4 places higher for the Canadiens in the schedule they've played this year. And if we look at who's going to be in the net, it's going to be Pekka Luukkonen, who is 2-2 versus the Canadiens with 17 goals against. That's a 3.95 goals against average. And in his playoffs, in his last 5, the pattern is going win, loss, and the last game, a win at Montreal. All signs for Wager Detective are pointing towards the Canadiens here. Let's take a look at what we have as far as what both teams will be looking at when they play tonight. We look at the Canadiens here. Look at this guy, Nick Suzuki. He leads the way, guys. I mean, you look at Cole Caulfield, he leads the NHL in game-winning goals. But if you look at Suzuki, I mean, Caulfield really holds serve. He's got 51 goals. Then you got Oliver Kapanen. You got Nick Suzuki. Those guys are doing absolutely fantastic. And then you look at assists. Look at the points, guys. Suzuki 101, Caulfield 88, Lane Hudson with 78. You got guys that can assist, guys that can score. They're a very dangerous team. Power play goals. Slavkovsky, excuse me if I get these names wrong. Slavkovsky, 15 power play goals. Caulfield and Suzuki both chipping in with 11 power play goals. So, very, very nice. And they got a few guys with shorthanded goals as well. You got Josh Anderson with 2 shorthanded goals, and then Suzuki's got 1, so they're a very, very tough team. Okay? Now, if we look at what face-offs won, Suzuki leads the team there by a wide margin, 731 to 306. Kapanen's got, and then you got Jake Evans with 472. A lot of guys winning face-offs. Percentage-wise, Suzuki probably, Jake Evans, 55.9 of his face-offs he's won this year. Now, if we look at hits, who's laying the wood when it gets into those corners, against the wall, against the plexiglass, if you will, it's, who's doing it here? Zachary Bolduc, 170 hits. Josh Anderson, 129. Slavkovsky with 105. And takeaways, Suzuki's got 29, Hudson's got 43. So you got a lot of guys over there that are taking the puck away. But look at the giveaways by Suzuki there, 72. Lane Hudson with 93. So you're not going to want to do that against the Sabres team. Now let's look at the Sabres and see who's hot and who's doing what there on the season. Who do we got on goals here? Tage Thompson, 41 goals. Ryan McLeod, 40 goals. Rasmus Dahlin with 55 leads the team, with goals. So Tage Thompson with 40, and then we got Alex Tuch with 33, Josh Doan with 25, Jake Quinn with 20, and then we look at points. You've seen there that all their top guys for the Canadiens got considerably more points than the high points guy for the Sabres, who was Tage Thompson. So something to think about there. Game-winning goals. Nobody's touching the 12 that we've seen there by Lane Hudson. Okay, he had 12. The nearest one on this team, game-winning goal, Tage Thompson with 5. So we got guys with ice in their veins over there on that Canadiens team. You can see it. And then what else do we got here? Face-offs won. Nobody's hitting 55% like the guy over here. Hitting 55% of his face-offs like Jake Evans. 56% if you round up on that .9. So face-offs won. Nobody really touching that. You got Joshua Norris with, winning 49% of his face-offs. The guy that's seeing the most is Ryan McLeod. He's chipping in at 47.7 of his face-offs. So something to think about there. And then hits. You got Matthias Samuelsson and Peyton Krebs and Beck Malenstein all chipping in big time with the hits there. Guys, if this comes down to what I am expecting and what I'm looking at, I do expect the Canadiens to get the job done here. Like we said, we broke down the cap for you, and the thing that just stands out, Canadiens 9-2 in their last 11 at the Sabres. Canadiens 7-1, last 8 Game 7s. since 2004. Their Canadiens are 8-3 in road Game 7s, and they're 16-9 in Game 7s. And then the Sabres are 1-6 in their last 7. You're getting right now. You're getting the Canadiens at plus money. And guys, another reason why I like them. You know, if you're going to get a call that's going to go a certain way, or it's just not going to be right, you know, I'm going to look. There was a parlay. Look at that I'm thinking about putting together. The Orioles and the Canadiens coming in at plus 340. We don't know. I don't know if Wager Detective will do that, but let's see here on this hockey game where the line sits. NHL. Okay, so we have the Canadiens at plus 100. I don't know, man. I got to take the Canadiens. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I do believe that the Canadiens probably garnered a little bit more money on the series bets, and they did look good last game, the Sabres, but all the metrics and everything I'm looking at, I give the slight lean to the Canadiens. If it's a close game, I got snipers over there in Hudson and Suzuki that I think will get the job done. And over 5.5, I mean, come on, give me a break. In their last 11 at the Sabres, including the playoffs, it's coming in at 6.72. I don't know who's dragging that line down. I think it's going to be a raucous crowd. I think the Canadiens score, and I think they edge out this game. By the way, in the last 15 meetings between the Canadiens and the Sabres, you have not had one overtime game. Progression to the regression. Maybe we get an overtime here, and it just gets really interesting. Would be great for hockey, but Wager Detective is going to call the Montreal Canadiens to win Game 7 here in Buffalo and advance to the next round. This is Wager Detective. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And more than anything else in the world, guys, seriously, Wager Detective loves all his fans. I thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.